this opportunity to, and y'all see me, right? I thought I had my readers on. These are sunglasses, so y'all really pray for me tonight. I put them down like I was about to read something. But what good is life if you can't laugh? We thank God on tonight for his word, and we're going back to the book of 2 Kings. 2 Kings, I hope you all have your outline. 2 Kings, the 6th chapter, the 8th through the 17th verse. And remember, we're doing a series called I Will Trust in the Lord. And in a time like we live in these days, Brother Bobby, we need to trust in God. So today's lesson is called Trust God is what? In control. Brother Aiden, will you start reading for us, man?
Now the king of Syria was making war against Israel.
Now the king of Syria was making war against Israel. Okay.
And he consulted with his servants, saying, my camp will be in such and such a place. And the man of God sent to the king of Israel, saying, beware that you do not pass this place, for the Syrians are coming down. Then the king of Israel sent someone to the place of which the man of God had told him. Thus he warned him, and he was watchful there, not just once or twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was greatly troubled by this thing. And he called the servants and said to them, will you not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? And one of his servants said, none, my lord, O king. But Elisha, the prophet who is in Israel, tells the king of Israel the words that you speak in your bedroom.
That's crazy. Did y'all see that right there? I'm going to say that again. So the Assyrians want to go to war with the children of Israel. And remember, the Assyrians were some what? They were some bad folks. Remember them? They were so bad, Adam, that the Assyrians were so bad that when you did something against the Assyrian government, I'm talking to Adam, right? I'm just talking to Adam right now. They were so bad, Adam, that if you did something against their government, they were starved dogs. They were starved dogs, and if you did something bad, they would actually allow those dogs to eat you up after they starved you. So there would be no sign of you left. The dog would, you ever heard that statement, you bad to the bone? They would eat you to the bone. That's how bad the Assyrians were. Not only were they that bad, they would take little rodents, like rats and stuff like that, and they would open you up. They would cut you just enough to open you up, and they would suture you back together again. And when they sutured you back together again, they would have put that little rodent in you that was hungry, and the rodent would do what? Eat his way out of your body. So these were the people that were coming against the children of Israel to attack them. But there's a prophet, Aiden said, that's in Israel. There's a prophet in Israel, and he told the Israelites that, hey, these bad Assyrians are going to come against you. They're going to come and bring war. The prophet told the children of Israel and the king of Israel, beware, some bad people will soon attack you. That's what he told them. And the king said, who? He said the Assyrians. Now, the king of Israel, Brother Bobby, knew how bad these Assyrians were. You know, the bad person in the neighborhood got the reputation that everybody know about. And it's those people that you say, you know, James Bolton over there? Yeah, he ain't about nothing. You say, well, you know Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson. So the Assyrians were the Mike Tyson of that day. My name, we just run up the boy over. But Mike Tyson, he knocking folks out. And so that's what the Assyrians were doing. They were knocking people out in war. They would wipe you out or eat you up with dogs. But there's a prophet named Elisha or Elisha in Israel that's going to warn the Israelites that these bad folks going to try to attack y'all tonight. Y'all with me so far? So this is where Aiden is. He's this prophet. Now, a prophet, Sister Sonia, is simply a person who brings the future to the right now. They can see into the future, so they tell you what's going to happen. They're different from a priest, all right? They're a prophet. They can bring the future to the right now. So they can be able to tell you, so Aiden on Sunday, November 36th, no, 36, right? Right. But November 36th, you're going to win $100,000 in the lottery. Right? Because that's a future event that they're bringing in to the right now. Now, sometime with them prophets, Dana, I'll be wondering, why don't those prophets know they're going to get a speeding ticket 3 to 4 days down the road? Sometimes I just wonder that. They can see the future so well. Why they don't know that they're going to get that speeding ticket on 191? I do wonder that sometimes. But those are not biblical prophets. We're talking about biblical prophets, right? So the prophet tells the king, you're going to be attacked. All right? Since the king of Israel is prepared for the attack against the Aram or the Aramean army, that Aramean king said, somebody must have told Israel what we were going to do. So it must be somebody in my own camp who told the Israelites that we were coming. But the guys in the camp say, no, sir, we didn't do that. We know that if we did that, you caught us, we'd get eaten by dogs. We don't have the courage to do that. There's a prophet over there who can tell things that's even where, what did he say? In your bedroom. Y'all hear me? Now, even if I was the prophetic, Sonia, I don't want to know what's going on in your bedroom. I don't want to see that. Even if I was a prophet, I will make a deal with God. God, you can tell me about money. You can tell me about miracles. But I don't want to know about what's going on in nobody's bedroom. All right? I don't want you to know what's going on in mine, and I don't want to know what's going on in yours. But that's what the Bible says. Y'all heard it already. It says, he can even tell you what's happening in your bedroom. That's what we call Adam a pinpoint prophet, which means they don't miss. All right? So that's what we are in his reading. Go ahead.
So he said, go and see where he is, that I may send and get him. And it was told him, saying, surely he is Dothan. Therefore he sent horses and chariots and a great army there. And they came by night and surrounded the city. And when the servant of the man of God arose early and went out, there was an army surrounding the city with horses and chariots. And the servant said to him, alas, my master, what shall we do?
Pause right there. So they prepared for this army. And I forgot, bless you all those who are worshiping online. We would love to have you here, but we're glad you worship with us there. So we're in 2 Kings chapter, what? 6, verses 8 through 17. And so what Brother Aiden just read is, now that they got the word that this army is coming, they go outside and they see a bunch of these bad folks surrounding them. So the servant of Elijah or Elisha says, now, you warned us, but what are we going to do about it? Because there's a bunch of folks out there. And the number that, in the physical sense, Aiden, in the physical sense, the number that the Israelis or Israelites had was much so fewer than the Aram army. So although they got warned and they were prepared for them to come, that army is bigger than ours. So the servant of Elijah looked at him and say, now you warned us, why didn't you tell us to run? Why didn't you tell us to get out of here? Because there's a lot of them folks up there. Y'all with me? It's a lot of them folks, so go ahead and read.
So he answered, do not fear, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them.
Did y'all hear that? Do not fear, because those who are with us are more than them. But now that's not in the physical, Dana. That ain't true. The Aramean army was one of the largest armies of that day. They greatly outnumbered the Israelites. But what Elijah or Elisha is telling them is, don't look in your spirit, your physical eye. Look with the spiritual eye, the eye of faith. Because what we say, God plus you is always the majority. I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's 10 people in here, and there's 1,000 folks outside trying to get in here to drink our coffee, and we don't want them to drink our coffee. Right? Y'all stay out there, don't y'all attack us for this coffee. And they try, and it's only 10 of us. If we got God, God plus us is always better and greater than them. And that's the same thing in your own life. Regardless of what your situations look like, God plus you gonna handle that situation. Go ahead. I won't interrupt anymore when we get to our outline. Go ahead.
And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray.
I lied. What did Elisha do?
Pray.
He prayed. When you look like the situation is too big for you, what is the first thing you ought to do?
Pray.
You ought to pray. When it looked like you don't have a handle on it, you ought to pray. And that's what our outline, y'all remember the outline from last week says, number 1, we're going to trust God under fire. Number 2, don't be afraid. And number 3, pray and trust God that what he is doing is right. All right, I'm going to try not to interrupt you no more. When you get to verse 17, I'll talk. Go ahead.
And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see.
Oh. Y'all forgive me. Y'all pray for me. Open his eyes that he may see. He already seeing. So what is he telling him? Look through the eyes of faith. He already went open his eyes and say, Master, it's a lot of folks out there. His eyes are already open. But when Elijah prayed, and listen to this, the leader is praying for the people. Elisha is praying for his servant. And he prays out loud and says, open his eyes that he may see. A lot of Christians, dear hearts, a lot of Christians live a life blinded by what they see in the physical. Oh, I'm sick. I'm going to always be sick. So what do? Remain sick. But we have to get to the point where even though the situation looks dire, dim, and dangerous, we got a God who sits high and looks low, and he will take care of that situation. Y'all forgive me for interrupting Aiden, okay? Go ahead, brother.
And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha.
I like the fact that he says, open his eyes, open the eyes of the young man that he may see. Now, I'm not looking at nobody, but I'm going to say this what I'm saying. I want God to open the eyes of a young man in here that he may see that the gift that he has is so great that he's going to bless many, many people. So don't be nervous to use that gift. Y'all hear me? I ain't talking about I ain't after nobody. But the scriptures just said, open the eyes of who? The young man. And there is a young man among us, Sister Irene, who's gifted, extremely gifted. But I want the Lord to open his eyes to get rid of the nervousnesses, that he can win awards with that guitar. You hear me talking?
Yeah.
You hear me talking to me? I'm looking at you. Do you play the guitar?
No.
No. But God just to open his eyes, because the gift that's in him can bless nations. But he got to know. He got to let God open his eyes to show him how great he can be. That was free. That wasn't even in my notes. Let's go to my notes, okay? So, number one, and we're halfway done, okay? Number one, God will not allow things to slip up on you. He won't allow it to happen. I told y'all many years ago, most of y'all know that I have devotion time on Tuesday. And many years ago, I prayed a prayer. I said, God, don't let nobody ever tell me something you ain't told me first. So I was at a church service back in 2007, and this prophet came. He was laying his hands on folks, and he was. And I told some of y'all remember this story. If you remember, just pretend like I never told you, okay? And he's laying on. He went. He's like, "You, sir." He put his hands. He's like, he said, "Come in." Okay, well, he said, trying to put his hand on him. He said, "What is it about you?" My best friend DT was standing right next to me. And he says, "Man, I'm trying to prophesy to you." And I laughed. And my friend DT, he not as, DT will say a word or two every now and then. You know, you got that friend that he won't let you cuss the folk out. He'll cuss them out for you. That's my DT, okay? So DT said, "You ain't gonna do it." So the man started like, what you say? I'm a prophet. DT said, "I said, you ain't gonna do it." And so the man tried to pray for me again and couldn't do it. And DT said, "See, that's what's wrong with you. You don't listen. I told you ain't gonna be able to do it. He prayed a prayer years ago that can't nobody tell him something that the Lord ain't told him first." I said, "DT, don't say that." They said, I tried to say the man some embarrassment. And then DT gonna walk away. But I'm telling you, God don't let stuff slip up on you when you're in his will. The safest place, Adam, in the whole wide world is in the will of God. Number 2 on here is the king of Aram was enraged and thought there was a mole in his troops. He was enraged. He said, "Can't nobody tell me what's going on in my bedroom? Only me and my wife was in there. And she been with me all the time." Back then they had several wives. So he probably said, "Me and my wives." All right? So the Aram king tried to take matters into his own hands. He tried to kill Elijah. Tried to take matters in his own hand. But when God is for you, the whole world can't do nothing to you. When God is for you. All right? So God gave divine revelation to the man of God, Elijah. Y'all ever been at church? And if I did this, I'm sorry, y'all forgive me. But y'all ever been at church before and a man, a guy preached a sermon and it's just like he was in your business all week long? Like, how you found out about me? And we don't know nothing. We know you was that was you. But it was like he was preaching directly to you. You ever been there before? I've been there, done that, got my t-shirt and my hat. So God gave divine revelation to the man of God. Watch this. God is always working behind the scenes to protect his people. Do y'all know that sometimes when you're going home, a detour in the road that upsets you is sometimes God protecting you from what's ahead? And you get mad, "Oh, goodness, this detour in the road, I'm trying to get to the house." And then you get home and turn on the news and something that happened on the road that you were headed up to. He worked behind the scenes. Y'all know the song Amazing Grace. I think the 3rd verse says, "Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. It was grace that kept me thus far, and grace will lead me on." In other words, you going through stuff in life that you would never see that God is protecting you from. I want God, one day before all of us die, to open up the stuff he kept from us and let us see how much stuff he's protected us from. That'd be a great day. You'd be like, "God, you kept me from that. You kept me from dating that crazy nut." No, sorry. You kept me from doing this. You kept me from taking that job. And you thought, you know, many times when a door closed, we think that's an opportunity closed. But sometimes God will close a door to open up a window. Because the Bible says he opens up the windows of heaven and pours out a blessing. So some things God close on us. Sometimes God take friends from us. And we get mad, but God will reveal to us that they wasn't no good anyway. They were not friends, they were frenemies. They're enemies pretending to be friends. Okay? So, no one can defeat God's purpose. No one can defeat God's purpose. Why? Because God will speak to you in ways sometimes you may not understand. God will speak to you in ways sometimes you may not understand. A lot of things we experience, be honest about the truth, we don't understand it. But later on, we get a revelation. Oh, that's why that happened. Oh, that's why I couldn't do this. So don't get mad. When you're in God's will and something, let me tell you, can I rhyme for a minute? I'm a poet and don't know it. When you're in God's will, it's his bill. Where God leads, he will always feed. God will never allow you to be disappointed when you know you are anointed. How did I do that? Good with that word? All right? So don't complain about it. Okay? Because sometimes God will come through the man of God. Watch this. Other times God can use your enemies. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that the devil ultimately got to do what God said? God controls him. God can snap his fingers and the devil no longer exists. But sometimes God has to speak to us. He has to speak to us through the bad in the world. Sometimes that's the main way he speaks to us when stuff bad happens. I have a greater appreciation of life now that I've seen death 3 times within 5 days. I have a greater appreciation for being healthy after I've been sick. That makes sense? So that bad, the devil meant it for bad, but I'm so glad, Adam, God meant it for my good. All right? Number 2, don't be afraid. Y'all ready? Many people, I messed that up. Many people are afraid when they should just be aware. Many people are afraid when they should be aware. God don't want you scared. I know people who do not let their children go out on the playground. They don't let them out the house. They're just so scared. You know, let these little babies run around and enjoy life and drink some of that good old water. If they fall, don't go down. Oh my good Lord, good Jesus, Patrice, get her. No. Say, ground, don't jump up and hit my baby no more. Tell the ground that. Tell the ground, don't jump up and hit the baby no more, right? Because oftentimes what we portray is what children live. Did y'all know that? My sister years ago, my niece was playing with a little worm. And she was enjoying that worm she was playing with. My sister started saying, no, put the worm down. To this day, my niece scared of worms. But she didn't get scared until mama put that fear on her. And we do the same thing sometimes. Some people would never go into an airplane because somebody told them that, oh, it's going to fall out the sky if you get in an airplane. I got a good friend, I hope she's not watching. She will not get into an airplane for nothing. The airplane is the safest form of travel. That's the safest form of travel. But she will not get into no airplane. I did a poll of my class on Monday. I said, how many of y'all scared of Dr. Bolton's anatomy and physiology class? 90% of them raised their hand. I said, how many of y'all taken the class before? Only 2 of them have taken the class before. Why y'all scared? Oh, because my friend said it was hard. So you put on your life the fear of your friend. And after class, after I did the first class, 4 or 5 people came up to me and was like, oh, I'm excited about coming to the next class. I said, no, you scared. Don't come no more. Just kidding, all right? So sometimes when we are fearful, our minds work overtime trying to make sense. Sometimes when we are fearful, our minds work overtime trying to make sense. Then what happens, Bolton? Our sleep patterns are ruined and our minds are unclear. I know folks stay up all night long. Watch this, Dana. Listen to me very carefully. I know folks who stay up all night long worrying about something that never ever happens. Listen to this. 77% of what we worry about never happened. Y'all hear me? So why worry if it 75% of the time it ain't gonna even happen? I had to tell myself that y'all know I was a little late coming in. I was worried, I'm gonna be about 10, 15 minutes late. Worried about something that never happened. I pulled up at 6:04. Now I was late still, but I wasn't no 10 minutes, 15 minutes late. Then I was like, okay, they're going to leave. But if I don't get there on time, they're going to leave. Y'all still sitting here smiling. Act like I wasn't even late. Y'all see what I'm talking about? So we worry about a lot of stuff that never happened. This old song says it this way, so song. It says, why worry when you can pray? Trust Jesus, he'll be your stay. Don't be a doubting Thomas, rest fully on his promise. Why worry if you can pray? And if you can pray, ain't no need to worry. But if you're going to worry, then don't pray. Don't worry God about it. Y'all hear me talking? That's some good water. All right? So remember that as a believer, remember that we must see through the eyes of faith. We must see through the eyes of faith. A lot of things we do not understand, we must ask God for his help. A lot of those things that we don't understand, just ask God to help. This service that's coming up that I have to preach, I don't understand that. I don't understand, y'all, why bad things happen to good people. I don't understand that. But in my not understanding, I got a God who not only has the answer, he is the answer. All right? So through prayer, we must realize that God is in control no matter what's in front of us. Through prayer, we must realize that God is in control no matter what we see. No matter how it looks. Brother Bobby, no matter how it looks, God is still in control. It don't even look like he may have a way out. But if God have to create a way, he'll make a way. All right? So, do not be fearful, because 1 John 4:18 says, perfect love casts out fear. No need to be fearful if you got the love of God, what we talked about on Sunday. The love of God will handle that stuff for you. Sister Sonia got children and grandchildren, and since she loved them, anything that happens to them, she's going to do her best to handle it for them. If mom and daddy at work and the baby's hungry, grandmama, because she loved them, going to find something to eat. Am I right about that? And she's not going to think twice about it. She ain't going to say, do I love my grandchildren or not? If I love them, I'll give them some McDonald's French fries or Happy Meal. If I don't love them, maybe I won't. When they hungry, what does she do? She get them something to eat. And watch this. I like this because God like this way too. Guess what? Even if she don't have, she'll make sure that they do. Because that's love. We said on Sunday, love is sacrificial. You give up yourself for love. And didn't Jesus do it? He gave up his life. All right? I'm not preaching Sunday's message again, okay? So watch this. So under there, so let God take the wheel. If you are the pilot and God is the co-pilot, change seats. Because he needs to be the pilot. And you need to be the co-pilot. I saw that bumper sticker. God is my co-pilot. Not mine. Because I don't know where I'm going. The pilot know where he's going. So I am the co-pilot. I'm doing what the pilot tells me to do. All right? Last outline. Y'all ready? So pray and trust God. Trust what God is doing. Someone in your group, someone in your family must speak faith to your situation. If you're around folks that's negative and you're going through stuff, you're going to become negative. You ever been around folks who you having a good day and they come, you like, how you doing? Oh man, I ain't got no money. My bills due. This, that, and the other. This, that, and the other. When you happy, you leave, after you done got in contact with them, you just feeling just as down as they are. Just as down as they are. I got a friend, and I don't look at I know somebody. I ain't gonna say I got a friend. I know somebody. This is Irene. When my phone ring, if I see it's that name, I go use the bathroom. Or I turn on my computer. I shouldn't say that, y'all. And I know y'all watching me online. It's some folks I just don't want to talk to. Because they so negative that they bring you down. They ruin your day.
Yeah.
And it's almost, you got them folks, you almost have to be in the mood to talk to them. Like, okay. Then you call then you call them back. And then you set an alarm, or you text your friend and say, hey, call me in about 5 minutes. Or come in my office in about 5 minutes and make some noise. So when you come in, I can get off the phone. Hey, wake the kids up. Let the kid cry so I can get on the phone with this person. You on the phone with that person texting, hey, call me, come in the room. Get me off this phone. What good is life? You can't laugh. But you only laugh because you know it's true.
Yeah.
Y'all know I'm telling the truth. If I'm lying, leave. There's some people you just don't want to deal with, especially on an everyday basis. If they call, they can be needing something. Hey, can I borrow $15? You owe me $100 already. I don't pay you back. When? You already owe the man $200. You borrow $5. I'm gonna pay you back. You ain't paying, And it's been 6 years. You ain't tell me in 6 years you ain't had $100 to pay me back. And you borrowed them. Why? One person comes and say, I need to borrow 25 cents worth of sugar. I said, how in the world you get 25 cents out of sugar? Well, how do I pour that out? I'm bringing a 25 cent over so I can get some 25 cents worth of sugar. I don't know how much of sugar that is. Go to the store and and walk through, say hi to somebody and take some of them packets off of the McDonald's table. I need a quarter worth of sugar. Get out my phone. What's wrong with your brains? Your brains are broken. All right? So, and I say this because I know we're on Facebook Live, all right? I know we're on Facebook Live, but this next one I had to write it. Stay off of Facebook and put your face in his book. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not talking about preaching, and what we're doing right now, but a lot of people get on there, hey, y'all, I was driving down the street, and I saw my ex-boyfriend driving, and he said hi to me. Should I wave back at him? What's wrong with your brains? Messing with me. Because and somebody emailed me something like that the other day. I ain't gonna tell you what I did to their email, and I hope they never see this clip. I hope they never see what I'm talking about right now. All right. So watch this. God helps us. Watch this. God helps us see bad situations in a good way. God helps us see bad situations in a good way. Okay. All right. Because our Heavenly Father wraps us up in His supernatural protection. Y'all know He is protecting you all when you sleep, when you're slumbering, when you have no idea what's going on. He protects y'all. Do y'all know the two of the reasons why you say your grace or you bless your food before you eat? One, because you're giving thanks to God for providing. Y'all know the other reason? The average amount of food has a certain amount of poison in it that your body cannot accept. And if it gets too much in there, you eventually get sick and you can die. So you say your grace and you give thanks for the food, for providing it, but you also thank God for protecting you while you eat. Okay? So He protects us sometimes when we don't know we're being protected. All right? So our Heavenly Father, what? Our Heavenly Father does this for us. He promises never to leave us nor what? Forsake us. Promises never to leave. He will not leave you alone. And you always have His, this is the last thing. I don't know what time it is. What time is it, y'all? Okay, so I can say this last thing and still be on time. You always have His security. You always have His security. Why? Because grace and mercy follows you. You always have His security because grace and mercy follows you. I end with this story. Again, if you heard it, act like you didn't. Right? I was traveling from New York to preach a conference in Dallas, Texas. And it was a big conference. A lot of these big names who you all have probably heard of were coming to that conference, and so when I got off the plane, they had a sign up with my name, Dr. Bolton. So they had to sign up. I get off the plane, and I had my book bag with me and a rolling bag. So one of the guys came up and he grabbed my bag that I was rolling. I said, "You don't have to talk, I got it." He said, "No, I know, you're Dr. Bolton and you're da-da-da-da-da." He said, "Where's your entourage?" I said, "My who?" He said, "Your entourage." I said, "What you talking about, man?" He said, "The people you travel with." I said, "I don't travel with nobody." He said, "Well," he mentioned this big name. He said, "This big name, TDJ, all these big wigs." He says, "All of them travel with their entourage." He said, who your security?" I said, "What I need security for?" He said, "Well, everybody else got security." I said, "Look, if the Lord is my shepherd, that's all I want. Because what? Goodness and mercy follow me when? All the days of my life." Those security guys, they can't go in the bathroom with TD Jakes and all of them. But goodness and mercy follow me everywhere I go. And I'm going to leave y'all with that. Trust God is in control. Because he got goodness and mercy following you everywhere you go. My time is up, and I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Any
Dr.
questions?
Bolton, how did those people that had that accident, was it their fault or the other?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened.